You guys ever play a game that's so good it's like injecting fentanyl directly into your eyeballs? Hi, I'm Joe. If you're one of the 12 people on this planet who, like me until very recently, have never heard of this game, Balatro is a roguelike deck-building poker-adjacent game. It's simple on the surface, but there are some nuances to how it actually plays that I think I need everybody to actually understand and be thoroughly explained before I can really start to talk about why this game is so addicting. So please bear with me while I try to explain the high-level gameplay as quickly as I can. The general idea is to score chips. There is a minimum amount that you need to beat each blind that increases with each blind, and there are 3 blinds and an ante. 8 antes beaten, and you win the game. It sounds really simple, but it very quickly scales to absolute insanity. Play a few of the normal poker hands you know, like 3 of a kind, or a flush, and you'll notice that you aren't earning enough points after a few blinds. This is where the jokers and mult come into play. Each card is worth chips, so a 10 is worth 10 chips, 4 is worth 4, and so on, and you can get multipliers stacked on top of this. These come from various buff cards as well as the real star of the show, the jokers. You might find a joker that gives you a stacking plus 4 chip bonus for every 2 you play, or a card that will double your entire current mult value, but every time you discard, you'll lose 0.1% of multiplication of your mult value. The random factor here means some of the more insane cards are much harder to come across, like the blueprint, which will duplicate the ability of the card immediately to its right, and since it's random, no 2 runs will ever play the same. There's a lot of buffs to your hands and individual cards. You can level up the poker hands via planet cards, which increases the bonuses that each hand gives you, or you can find tarot cards, which enhance your playing cards with different abilities, or they help you shape your deck. You can create wild cards that are playable with any suit, cards that give you extra money, cards that destroy cards, and so on and so forth. Special cards are rarer, but have stronger effects. Convert all the cards in your hand to the same suit, or set your money to 0 and get a free joker. They're a little broken. And yes, I did mention money. Money exists. It's how you buy the cards. You get bonuses each round, as well as interest. Economy is very important, as you need to make money to grow money, but there are some playstyles that actually directly benefit from your economy, with numerous jokers awarding bonus money, some allowing you to go into debt, and some directly increasing your power depending on how much or how little is actually in your bank account at that point in time. And because Balatro is now regarded as an 18+ gambling game and things are bad, let's go ahead and make it really bad and make a timely joke about the economy right now and all those tariffs. My neighbors didn't like that joke, it seems. The general idea is to get strong as quick as you can, because the 3rd blind of each ante is a boss, with various effects like having the base chips and mult value awarded each play, or removing all of your discards. The boss of Ante 8 will typically have harsher debuffs as well as the highest score requirements, and once you beat it, you have effectively beaten that run. And if you feel up to it, you can keep your run going to see how well your build scales well into endless mode. Finally, there are 15 different decks you can play with that have different effects, like the Abandoned deck, which starts you off with no face cards, and 8 different difficulties referred to as stakes, which ramp the challenges up significantly as you clear decks on lower antes. Difficulties are unlocked on a per deck basis, so if you find one deck that fits your preferred playstyle, and you unlock up to orange stake on that deck, for example, you still can only choose the white stake on a erratic deck. Alright, now that we've got all the boring nerd shit out of the way, now I can actually talk about the things that make me happy about Balatro, which, as I'm sure you can imagine with how I've been talking so far, I do really enjoy this game. I enjoy playing it a lot. It's a great time waster for a lot of reasons, but the things that I do like about it actually go much deeper than just like how a typical game usually do. I think it's because of the roguelike elements. This is something new to me personally. Like, I've tried roguelites before, obviously, and I've tried a lot, really, honestly, even like fan-made ones, and none of them have like really stuck with me in terms of like, I don't really find the fun. I'm not really getting the gameplay loop. It's not really I've tried playing things like Isaac. I've tried playing there was a really cool Legend of Zelda themed one that came out a while ago that I tried playing into. That one was like closer to getting me into it, but I typically really hate the randomization in roguelites. And I find that it often kills a lot of my enjoyment while I'm trying to do things, because whenever I finally figure out how I'm supposed to play the game, something happens and I just get screwed over, which I understand is the appeal of doing something like a roguelike game, or even a roguelike for that matter. Doesn't mean I like it. It's a genre that's never really been my taste for a long time, and it was really shocking to me how much this game really took off and how much it got its hooks directly into my face hole. As I type my password incorrectly here. Come on, I'm doing a bit. Like, it's the amount of hours I've put into this game and the amount of effort I've put into learning about this game and trying to figure out like optimal hands and like greater strategy and even just like finding new content creators to watch about this game kind of baffles me. This is not a game that I've gotten this hard into, and like Call of Duty, I think, was the last time I got this hard into a game. And that was like, how old am I now? That was more than 15 years ago when I got bit by that bug, so I think the thing that made the game stick for me was how overly simple it appears on the surface, but once you dive into it, you see this seemingly unending field of opportunity. The only real limit is your understanding of the mechanics and your creativity. There's no real dexterity requirement, so anybody can play it however fast or slow they want with whatever input they want. If you have physical issues or if you've never played a video game before, doesn't matter. You don't have to specifically time an A press in order to jump properly, or you don't have to hold a controller for a very long period of time in order to be able to play this game. You can just kind of play it however you want to, which is a huge plus. The randomness factor of it gives it this mystery where you have no idea what's about to screw you over next, and you can, I don't know about you, but I can't ever wait to figure out what's about to happen next. This manifests into the difficulty system. Once you get a grasp on White Stake, you can kind of just play the game pretty suboptimally and still win, as long as you're paying attention to the game and you understand the mechanics. You're able to drop jokers and pivot into new builds even very late into the antes without much consequence, as long as you're playing appropriately and you have the right shop luck. That's straight up not possible at the higher difficulties due to a lot of the debuffs they apply. But by the time you work up to Gold Stake, the highest difficulty, you don't earn money from beating the small blind anymore, you're permanently reduced to discard, the score you need in each ante has drastically scaled up not once but twice, meaning the final boss in each difficulty goes from needing 50k chips to 100k chips and finally 200k chips. And the game has introduced the mechanics of eternal, perishable, and rental jokers, meaning that sometimes you can find a really good joker, but you'll never be able to discard it or destroy it, or it will stop working in 5 rounds, or you have to pay $3 per round to keep it while acquiring it from the shop as a dirt cheap single dollar. Because get it, you're renting it, but you have to keep your dues up. This will force you into learning how the jokers play off each other and to learn new playstyles organically. And most builds are completely viable, like very viable, as long as you understand the rules and have decent luck with your shop, and you don't consistently misplay. It all really depends on how well you are scaling, because if you make a single misclick or a bad econ decision, you will just lose on the higher difficulties if you're not scaling correctly. And sometimes you just get bad RNG or just make a single early mistake that you didn't even know was a mistake until 5 rounds later. There's nothing you can do about it sometimes, and I fucking love that. Scaling can be done in so many different ways, and the game encourages experimentation and playing. Sometimes you just get a really stupid deck built around the 40 planet cards that you were able to all play on high card, and you just have a single high card deck, and you just go to town. Sometimes you just do a little haha funny with Vagabond, and then you played like 100 tarot cards, and you have the Joker that scales with playing tarot cards. Sometimes you just get your Wii, and you start playing with your Wii, and as you play with it more, it gets bigger and bigger, and before you know it, it's just... But sometimes you just lose. Sometimes you get an amazing Joker and you just can't ever get anything to scale with it, and sometimes you don't get any Jokers at all and you just get nothing but normal playing cards that you don't want to add the wrong cards and you don't want to not buy anything and waste your econ early on, so you sit on it, and before you know it, you've sat out too many and you lose. Failure will happen, but that's okay. My favorite approach to playing this game has been to try and unlock all the antes on each deck in order, learning how each deck plays and how to build my overall strategy to approaching the game. I travel a lot for my new job, so Balatro on my iPad mini has been an absolute lifesaver while you're on cramped flights, or you're passing the time while waiting for something to happen. And sometimes all you need is a quick 15-minute game where you have the absolute run of your life, and then you finally pass blue stake on a deck you usually hate playing while you're waiting for your plane to actually let you disembark, and you're sitting there for 30 minutes waiting to actually pull into the terminal. I'm definitely not angry about that, no. Discovering new synergies and being creative is my favorite part of the game, mostly because I love picking really stupid builds and just trying to win with it. Like a deck based around getting more molt with each stone card in my deck and having a joker generate a stone card every round. Or the absolute Chad move, Sock and Buskin, combined with Pareidolia, and duplicating 2s with Red Seal on them to make my Wii just keep growing. Maybe even throw a Photo Chad combo in there if you're feeling a little daring today. My personal favorite stupid win was first try Green Stake Abandoned deck, where I only played pairs, just because I was trying to prove a point to make my friend mad. Look, I can't help that sometimes the RNG is just really funny in this game, okay? The content drip feed hits that balance really well, in my opinion. Another way that the game encourages you to deck hop and try to play new strategies. It's a way that the game encourages you to keep enjoying its main loop and to keep trying new things. Unlocking some of the jokers is an absolute pain in the ass, don't get me wrong, but man does it feel really satisfying whenever you finally pull it off after several rounds of attempts. Achievement hunting in this game is real, if that's something you vibe with. There's just a real sense of pride and accomplishment when you unlock one of these achievements. This is the first roguelike that's really gotten its hooks into me, which I find interesting for a lot of reasons because I don't particularly like roguelikes a whole lot. But I think a lot of the reason why I like this game is because it is the first roguelike to really put its hooks into me. And you know what they say, everybody remembers their first. Or at least the first that matters. Okay, I've been slowly getting my coworkers addicted to this game too, even going so far as to have a dedicated Balatro chat where we all share hands and strategies and screenshots of scores back and forth, and yeah, it's a lot of fun. My power waxes with each lucky cat I help to get fat,
and soon all will know of Lord Jimbo's power.
All I can say is that I love this game and I really want to give the dev more money, so I made this video. I made this so that way hopefully you'll give him money too. He deserves it. Oh, speaking of money, there's no microtransactions. Like, period. None. I have zero problems with buying like 20 copies of this game with how much entertainment I've gotten out of it. I've already bought 6. That's not a joke. I bought one for myself on Steam and then one for each of my phones. And then I bought a few copies for friends. Yeah, it's worth it. Okay, I don't have an outro. I'm just gonna go play more Balatro now. If that's not an endorsement, I don't know what is. Okay, bye. The hand type you play is also work, chips, and molt. Jesus, James, what the fuck is wrong with you?